Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, let's talk about Marhault Elsdragon. He was originally in Legends. This is the Chronicles version. And he has Rampage, an unsupported ability that they stopped doing a long time ago. And when I was flipping through the general binder, I saw him and I thought, you know what? Tribal Rampage. That's what I want to do with him. As it turns out, there's not a hell of a lot of creatures with the Rampage ability, well, that I have. There are some Frost Giant that I do not have, but we'll start with the ones I've got. I had to kind of veer off of the Rampage thing because there wasn't enough Rampage to flesh out a whole deck. And sadly, there's not an enchantment that gives like all your creatures Rampage 2 or whatever. By the way, what Rampage is when a creature blocks another creature with Rampage, it gets plus N, where N is that number, for each additional. So Marhault Elsdragon, for example, he is attacking and you block with a 1/1. He's still a 4/6. However, if you block with two creatures, the Rampage kicks in, or two or more creatures, Rampage kicks in, and he gets +1/+1 because one is his Rampage number for each creature beyond the first. I.e., if you blocked him with 5 creatures, he would get +4/+4. Now, in order to Crawl Giant is probably the Rampage creature that most people remember because this guy, I mean, we were all excited to get him back in the day. It was crazy. Crawl Giant was just the stuff. We loved us some Crawl Giant. Wolverine Pack has Rampage 2. Balduvian Warmakers, Rampage 1. Gorilla Berserkers. And now, the Gorilla Berserkers trample Rampage 2 and can be blocked by fewer than 3 creatures. So this one, all things considered, as far as 5 mana 2/3s go, not bad. Then, of course, we have the artifact creature. Now, in order to maximize the Rampage ability, we've got to make their whole team block. And as far as making the whole team block, you know, it starts with lure. Lure and lure type abilities. Every now and then they'll do a lure-ish type thing. So here was my plan for it, is to play the creature with Rampage, maybe my general, maybe one of the others, and then lure that Joker in some fashion because there are many ways to, well, not many, like the Revenge of the Hunted makes everybody block it. Roar of the Challenge. The dangerous side of Armed and Dangerous. Blood Scent is an instant, but you know, hey, it works. To make their entire team block it so it gets all these Rampage abilities, or, you know, pluses. And then I wanted to kind of, you know, give it Death Touch. Now, this doesn't per se give it Death Touch, but to be honest with you, the card I need the most for the deck I don't have, which is the Bow of Nylea. I think the Bow of Nylea would absolutely rock because it does give your team Death Touch, and Death Touch, as you know, works wonderfully with Trample, especially if you have a creature that's larger than it should be and it's blocking their entire team. With Death Touch Trample, you can assign 1 damage to each of them, kill their team, and go on about your merry way. That was my line of thinking. And with that in mind, I had the Tempting Illicit, because it also forces blockers. Elvish Bard does not have trample or does not have Rampage, but it's got the what we call the taunting elf ability built in. Now, it led me also down the road to the Thicket Basilisk, the Cockatrice line of, you know, just killing everything that blocks it. It doesn't have to deal damage. So, you know, I think one of the oldest combos out there from all the way back from Alpha is the Lure Thicket Basilisk. So here is my other kind of. We got the new guy that gives your team trample. He's kind of a backup copy of Primal Rage. The Mox Monkey. The reason why they call this the Mox Monkey, it come out in Alliances, and Standard, or Type 2, as it was called at the time, was very, very new, so a lot of people didn't play it. People just played what we would call casual constructed now, where the format is cards that they own, which is, I guess, I never got out of that phase. That's why I love Commander so much. Anyway, this guy says 1 mana, destroy target Mox, which is beautiful. There are so many artifacts that are worth killing, and XX1 looks ridiculous. It looks like it's, but think about it. This is 3 mana to shoot a Soul Ring. There's no amount of mana in the world I wouldn't pay for mana : destroy target Chroma's Memorial. I promise you that. But we need some kind of mana production. So what I did was, of course, the Double Meat, Double Cheese. I love this card. Y'all know that. Mana Flare, Zendikar Resurgent, of course, the Zertai Ancient. That way I have got some, some mana production. I mean, our general's not cheap to begin with. And a lot of our cards are, since they are old, back in the day, spells were better than the creatures. And everybody thinks that they're making, what they use in the term power creep. But the thing about it is we were off balance to begin with. Now, over the past however many years, they have been kind of correcting it to let the creatures catch up to the quality of the spells. So, as far as mana production, gotta have those guys. Really like the Druid here, just because, mana burn doesn't exist anymore. So, hey, why not? If you've got him untapped, just let him rip. A lot of these others are a lot of these others are just good all around Goblin War Drums that, if they're going to block, that makes them block with 2 creatures. Battle Strain. Battle Strain's kind of neat. It's a card that not a lot of people play or even know exist. Whenever somebody blocks, they take a damage. Runes. Double Strike, Trample, and +2? Check. Monster Bridge Troll is a card that I think does not see enough love. The automatic regeneration. It regenerates. And since they started printing the cards that don't hate on regeneration, because used to everything was like Wrath of God, can't regenerate. Thank you, Marhault, for stopping that shit. But Rabid Elephant gets bigger. It kind of has Rampage-ish. It actually may be a little better, simply because it gets it for the first one. The Enchantress, I do have quite a few enchantments in the deck. She may be one of the cards that get the axe when I get, Frost Giant or another Rampage creature or whatever. The same with Bane of Progress. I'm playing with Bane of Progress because there are worse things than this deck. Here's looking at you, Brea. Gang of Elk is kind of similar. I was trying to fill out enough creatures to actually have a deck to where I didn't have, like, 5 creatures in the damn deck. But the Gang of Elk is pretty similar. The Witch, each blocked creature, so that's pretty sweet. It actually fits our theme. Tarn Mauler used to be great. Now it's just okay since they started printing cards that do way better. Snake Umbra, Beastmaster's Mage Mark. Now this is kind of neat because the object is to enchant our creatures, and this is going to make Marhault pretty big. Ewit, Acidic Slime, those need no explanation. Burning Tree Shaman. Here again, combo decks are a thing, and we all know it. Brooding Sauron, because y'all saw Galena, that's why. Blast Act is our board wipe. Praetor's Council is the greatest regrowth variant in the world. I don't care if it costs 8 mana. This card is one of my personal favorites. I love it. Creeping Mold is utility, of course. The Gruul Warplow gives the team trample. In a pinch, it can become a dude. Equipment version of Lure, so that's neat. Although it costs 3 and 3, so various assorted mana rocks because of reasons. Vincer's Journal. We're in the colors. I'm always looking for a reason to play Decimate because this card is just, it is, what is that phrase? Stone cold Nutter Butters. Man. 4 targets, 1 card. I will 4 for 1 all day long and do not have a problem with it. By Force is, I've actually stopped using Shatterstorm and started using By Force simply because every deck's got those 2 or 3 artifacts. Even if you don't have a bunch, you don't want to lose your Soul Ring or your, journal or whatever. By Force lets you target, and casting cost wise, Shatterstorm versus By Force, 4 mana, so you can hit 3 artifacts most of the time. That's really all you want gone anyway. I love By Force. Overrun, because, yeah, we're playing green, that's why. Crows and Grip. Hull Breach. Unravel the Ether. Volcanic. Now, really kind of like this. This is some value for a 5 mana spell. You get to destroy 2 lands and deal 14 damage for 5 mana. Now, granted, you only get to pick half of it, but the other half can't be used, so why do we care? And the last card is Genesis Wave. Genesis Wave may or may not. I mean, I love the card, don't get me wrong, but we do have a lot of instants and sorceries and stuff that we kind of want, and we really don't want to be, just throwing them out in the yard. But that is what I've got for today for Marhault Elsdragon, i.e. Tribal Rampage. Played it a couple times, not since I've updated with the Almond Kitty cards, but I do appreciate you watching. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.